There he is. Sober living. Off the perp.
Yeah.
Right.
I got, it's been a long week.
It's been a grind for you.
There's been one, I guess, success out of the whole sickness, and that is apparently I've gotten Dan sick. So misery loves company. Now he can sit around all weekend, yeah, because he is the most unsympathetic type that there is.
Boy,
you
is
know?
he.
Right, he's just, sick, poor baby. Okay.
And he, much like all of us, will be, soft as can be when it comes to being sick, because that's what we do.
The older I get, the softer I am. Now, I hardly ever get sick, so it's not too much, but I feel sorry for Mrs. P, because I do become kind of a big baby, and I'm typically, and you're going to find this hard to believe, I'm not a big baby normally.
No, but...
I'm not a big pout. I just move past it, but sick is just sucks.
Yeah, there's this thing, there's a trend on the internet, they call it, the man flu, and it's it's all of us. When we get sick, man, we act like we're on death's door.
I've had buddies that literally, and I would never put up with this if I were a wife or spouse, that literally, I got a couple of buddies that have a bell. I'm not...
they ring a bell when they need...
Can you say a bad word on this feed?
I did.
You did?
Last week.
Which one was it?
I used the S word.
Yeah, that's what I almost used the S word.
Yeah.
But I didn't. See, I'm a little more couth than you.
I did.
But yeah, no S. He literally would have
rings a little bell.
He'd have a bell, and in his room, if he needed something, some more food or some
from the maid,
some medicine, he would ring the bell.
No.
Yeah. Somebody asking how much impact do you think Oliver will have Sunday? Is that Tropical Storm Oliver, or who was that?
No, it's Josh Oliver.
I've never heard of him.
A rookie tight end who practiced fully for the first time yesterday. Is expected to play Sunday, his first regular season action. I mean, look, everybody who saw him in training camp was very impressed, but who knows?
I would temper my expectations out of the gate, but hopefully he bursts right onto the scene like DJ Hawkinson did for the Detroit Lions earlier this year, and he has a big game. It certainly would be much needed. The team is struggling with injuries at the position already. You've lost your boy Oshag Hennessy for the year, and Jeff Swain's not going to play for a while after he got his bell rung last week. You wouldn't think so.
Speaking of bells, and I couldn't.
Yeah, we need Josh Oliver.
We can't expect Oliver to have the unbelievable impact that Jeff Swain has had since coming to Jacksonville.
Trying to warn you.
That's a huge...
Trying to warn you. Anytime you sign... And again, I'm not saying they can't be complimentary players, so that's not... This isn't a criticism of signing Jeff Swain or Chris Conley, but if you think you're getting guys from other places and suddenly there's... It was this notion that, they got a big play guy in Chris Conley. That's 70 catches. No.
Will Koyak have a big game since he's technically the only...
No, who was the guy? Was it Delisle? Was that the name of our other who had a catch last week?
It's a mess, but yeah.
But they need... Listen, here's the
Oliver
deal.
needs to play and play well.
And not just this week.
Right.
You used a third-round draft pick on this tight end out of California. You need to hit it hard.
That guy... That guy needs to contribute now. Moving forward, he needs to contribute.
Yeah, and
they're counting on it.
To expect a ton right out of here. Listen, here's something else, too. We need, another aspect of the tight end position that we don't ever talk about is the blocking, too. So let's see if that can make a difference at all.
Right.
We went through some of the stats today. The Cincinnati Bengals are really bad. I mean, they've got no wins. Their statistics are terrible. But the one number that, even in the middle of all the badness, was shocking is the amount of rushing yards the Bengals give up a week. Now, in the NFL, 185 yards a week, a game.
They, like you said, the on-paper stats as far as points allowed and whatnot, they don't look as bad as the Dolphins.
The scores don't look as bad either.
Watching them, they don't look nearly as competitive as Miami. Miami looks a lot more competitive in games that they're still losing, but they look a lot more competitive. Cincinnati looks awful.
Well, they are awful, and that's why this is a game that will completely define our thoughts on this team. The rest, if they lose this game, I've got no confidence in this not being anything more than a 5-11 season. All they would prove to have been was a bad team that snuck a couple of wins in, early.
Right.
You can't go to Cincinnati and lose, and I'm not trying to be negative and say that they are. I don't. I think they'll win. The 5-pack, I picked the Jags with the 3.5-point spread. But you better win. It's going to be a huge indictment if they don't.
Clifford worried about you. Said you looks cold. It was cold in the studio today. So
that's all.
Jeff had to dress for it.
Yeah, and I like to zip these things all the way up because if I don't,
I love like sweaters like that. I love them.
Yeah,
they're great.
It's kind of a strange color.
It's an unusual color, but
I kind of like it though.
But the lightweight, but it's warm and
it's perfect.
It's reminiscent of the one Reimer brought me back from the Tour Championship last year. I
winning.
love that sweater, but it's a little annoying because it's kind of a fleece material, but it's very light blue and it's prone to the swarm pits, guys.
You have swarm pit.
The sweat stains, big time. I'm a pit sweater, man.
Yeah, you don't. There's like Speed Stick. Any of those you ever heard
Doesn't
of?
help.
It doesn't.
Not at all.
Are you using the antiperspirant
Correct.
one?
And
it just you're just
I'm just a
overpowering.
sweater. I'm a powerful sweater.
You're a pit because you don't stink. I've never really known you to have, but I have seen you with big pit stains.
I do.
Before.
I'm a sweater.
Is that
man.
embarrassing for you or no?
At times,
Sometimes,
it depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
I feel like Patrick Ewing in like the 1993 playoffs, just dripping off.
Oh man, that guy could sweat. That was a Hall of Fame sweater. I've never been a pit stain guy ever.
Yeah. It's annoying.
But I can be like anyone, a BO guy, if I forget to put on the deodorant.
Sure.
But but the key here is you need the deodorant because some people. That's why I said I wasn't. I know you're smarter than that, but. There's deodorant and there's antiperspirant. You need if you're a pit stain, you need to have the antiperspirant as much as the deodorant.
I'm thinking about using like candle wax.
Does that work?
And just sealing it.
Just clog up your pores?
Yeah.
You think maybe you should see some sort of physician about all this or no?
I don't know. I feel okay about it.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't affect
I think our World Series will be set in about 13 hours.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the Astros go ahead and finish off the Yankees today. The Yankees
I think, like you said, yesterday was the game that if the Yankees were going to nut up, it was going to be yesterday, and they didn't get it done against Greinke. They're not going to do it today against Verlander. Paxton will go out there and grind, but they're not going to do it.
Every postseason series has a hero, and it has a GOAT.
Yeah.
Every one. I don't care if it's a sweep. Like in the Braves series, the GOAT was Freddie Freeman.
Sure.
As great a player as he is, we love him. I wouldn't trade him for anything. He hit 180 and made a crucial error that made sure the series would be lost. Didn't necessarily lose the series.
Right.
Well, in New York, that player is Gary Sanchez.
Oh, he's been
and the Yankee fan base continues to wonder what in the hockey sticks do we keep putting this guy out here?
He's been bad.
And he did it again last night. And like I said this before, whenever you're in a slump, the ball seems to find you. And in this case, Gary Sanchez, it's not bad enough that he's only hitting 100. It's that every time he comes up, it's bases loaded or runners in scoring position.
It's always a critical moment. As a fan, you're watching, you're like, why?
It's like last night, the Yankees got a run in the first. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs. Sanchez at the plate, struck out.
Yankees fans watching Gary Sanchez reminds me of me watching Jason Hayward in 2018.
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
Like every time you go up, it's like, no!
Yeah.
Why him?
I said this before. When you're in a long Major League season, your guys can struggle for 6 or 8 games, and it goes unnoticed. A couple other guys pick it up. If you go 4 and 6 and 10 games, it doesn't matter. It's part of the big season. But same guys go 4 or 5 games in this time of year, and boy,
it kills you.
You'll be known for it.
It cripples you.
We determined here, by the way, as I look up to the dime board bet, which just is filling up, man. We have got to get the
I gotta get the ping pong
brunch for the tour dime bet paid off. I might have. What do you need?
I need a ping pong paddle and balls.
I think I have those at home, probably.
And then we just need Chris Reimer so we can pelt Dan Hicken.
Just ask any of the young.
I have.
Beer pong? They don't have.
They've all moved off balls. Yeah, I think they've all moved off it, man. They're all in the cornhole now.
They don't do the beer pong anymore.
Which I'd be happy to wing, little sandbags at Dan too, but that wasn't the deal.
Is cornhole? Do they make that a drinking game, or they're just in the cornhole for the cornhole?
I think they just drink while they play the cornhole.
I've never been comfortable with the name of the game, cornhole. It just has a different
there's a connotation to it
from our generation,
right?
But I have gotten used to it. You remember when Carson Palmer first had his cornhole tournament? We just giggled like a bunch of little third graders.
Cornhole classic.
It's come a long way since then.
A long way.
Now you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So, but the Jags on the road this weekend. The Gators, one thing to look for, and also I would imagine probably same story with FSU at Wake Forest. That storm is going to move up through that area, so Florida's going to play South Carolina tomorrow, probably. In constant rain, and when you're the favorite, you don't like intangibles.
Those weird variables coming in, you
just
hooked
want to
come in and handle your business.
So, and of course, the big news this morning off of last night is the MVP is hurt. Patrick Mahomes hurt his knee last night. He dislocated his kneecap. It was pretty gruesome, and so out at least 3 weeks, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Head.
If it's any longer than that, it could seriously impact the season, but. 3 weeks, you think they could weather 3 weeks?
And again, I'm probably guilty sometimes of not getting the teams in our division enough credit. Like Houston, the national perspective on Houston might be stronger than what ours is, but you see them all the time, and you know they don't win. So Indy and Houston, Tennessee and Jacksonville, I consider probably wrongly to be all about the same. Right. So I will use, with that as a disclaimer, I'll say that the AFC is just, between the injuries to Roethlisberger and all the Chargers problems, the AFC looks weaker than it's looked in a while.
Yeah.
And here are the Patriots, ho hum, cruising through an easy schedule, undefeated.
Yeah. I was listening to your favorite radio program, Jeff, Amy Lawrence, driving into the station this morning, and she had a guy calling with a thick New England accent telling us how critical this game against the Jets is this week in determining just who the Patriots are.
The Jets are not the measuring stick, though, Chief.
You're going to go beat their ass.
Amy
Lawrence,
go
to the Super Bowl.
Amy Lawrence seems sweet as a piece of pecan pie, and she's fine.
Sure. Yeah, it wasn't criticism.
No, I know.
It was a bad call.
It'll never. Who was the guy I liked so much?
Oh,
Robin Lundberg.
Robin Lundberg. You hated him.
He, along with Mike Owen Jr. Yeah, those were my. But then I always feel guilty though when I'm driving and I'm listening to a host and I'm just thinking, "Gosh, you're so terrible. I hate you." I always feel just a tad of like guilt or pay it forward karma that in an hour somebody's gonna be driving saying the same thing about me.
Probably so.
Have a great weekend.
Love you, Googans. Hopefully we come back with a W. Otherwise, that's the two Googans asked. Yeah, draft off Monday if we lose. For sure. Lock it.